Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to draw a dog nose in graphite. Now for this I have taken it from a section of the white fur on white paper tutorial that I created for my Patreon. Now I do have a time-lapse version with a voiceover of this white dog available here on YouTube, so if that's of interest I'll link that in the description below. So the first thing that I want to start off with any nose is I want to map in the main shape and the placement of the nostrils. This here is my main priority to start with. I'm not focusing on any kind of detail at all. Now with the nostril placement, it's so important that they are correct, because if we make them the wrong size or potentially at the wrong level, that there is really obvious. Because the nose is in the centre of the face, even anyone who doesn't have access to the reference photo can usually tell if the nose has been drawn wrong. So I always take my time at this point to make sure everything is mapped in accurately. Once I've done a light layer with a standard HB pencil, I'll then start to reinforce my darker values once I am confident that I've got the position correct. This here is so important and where I start building up my contrast. Now contrast is something that I talk about in all tutorials because it does make a huge difference and it's what makes the artwork look three-dimensional. Now I've got lots of tutorials here on YouTube that focus on how to draw fur in graphite. I'll link a couple of those in the description below as well if they're of interest. But the first thing here is I want to build up my values gradually. Now I like using graphite powder to map in my very first layer, and that's what I'm going to start to do shortly. With the graphite powder, that enables me to map in my lights and my darks, but with a very light layer. I don't have to use my pencils to do that, so if I do make a mistake, I can easily lift that graphite powder off with my kneaded putty eraser. So this portrait was an 8 by 10 inch, so the nose in relation to that is quite small, but regardless of that, I still want to be making sure that I am trying to capture the three-dimensional shape of that nose. Now that does really depend on the way that we move our pencils, or in this case the paper blending stump, to reinforce where the curve of the nostrils are and where the top surface of the nose curves over the flat front surface of the nose. This here is all achieved by hinting at our lights and our darks. The highlights and shadows, regardless if it's fur, noses or eyes, they are never random. They will be following the structure or underlying bone and muscular structure. So for instance, the reflections on the top of the eye, that's there because the sky above, and it's always got that degree of curve at the top to follow the shape of that eye. So all of these things here, the shape of the highlights and shadows, the positioning, the value, how bright or how dark it should be, are really, really important. Now you can see here through many times in this tutorial that I am actually explaining what I'm doing with my pencil in the moment. This is because this tutorial is available on my Patreon channel all in real time from start to finish. There's no section sped up or cut out, and I am explaining what I'm doing while I'm drawing, so it's a great one to follow along to. You also get the reference photo liner and full material list, so if you would like to see this tutorial or any of my other in-depth real-time tutorials, then I will link my Patreon in the description below. But the pencil technique is important. Whether or not we're working with a sharp pencil, a blunt pencil, how much pressure should be applied to the pencil, even whereabouts on the barrel of the pencil we should be holding it, that will affect the pressure and the technique, the way that we can move that pencil. All of these things do come into play depending on what we're drawing. Now for the most part here, I'm just focusing on my highlights and shadows. The technique with that pencil is of course important, but I am just mainly focusing on my lights and my darks. By reinforcing the lights and the darks, you can see here that this first proper layer with my graphite pencils on top of my graphite powder is reinforcing the shape. The way that the shadows curve over towards the highlights, there are no harsh edges. I've got a really nice soft mid-tone transition right in between a shadow or a highlight. So that softness is going to ensure that it looks like the nostril is rolling or curving over towards the flat surface of that nose. Now something else as well is you can really see how I'm taking my time to be precise with my pencil. I'm not just jumping into using my darkest pencils early on, I'm building up my values gradually. Now, one thing that I know that can happen very easily is if we can see a dark value in our reference photo, we will jump straight into using our softest and darkest pencils, something maybe like a 6 or a 7B. That there though will really limit the amount of depth and realism that's been built up in that portrait because you don't have the same number of layers underneath. There are many layers that I'm using here, different pencils from HB all the way up to my 9B in some situations. You really do want the darkest part to be the nostril and also reinforcing that central line down the middle of the nose. If the reference photo you're working from is particularly dark, you may not be able to see that line in the centre, but most of the time it is going to be visible even if it's just being hinted at by a very subtle highlight. So the top surface of the nose that I'm currently working on here is going to vary from dog to dog and photo to photo. This here is a really soft looking nose. There wasn't a huge amount of texture. Now what I mean by the texture is some noses have a bit more of a drier appearance to it. Sometimes they look like circular highlights, little dots. That there was not visible in the reference photo I was working from for this white dog portrait. So I wanted to make sure that I kept my pencil technique nice and soft. However, if the nose that you're drawing does have more of those lighter circles, they're often then outlined with a darker edge. So that's there where you want to be taking the time to replicate that detail in your drawing. Now, as I'm also reinforcing that softness, this is where it's become really apparent to work a little bit more from light to dark. If I'd have put down a darker, more solid layer to start with, that would have been significantly harder for me to have lifted up that graphite to reinforce my highlights. But because I have been a little bit more cautious, making sure that I'm working with more of my lighter foundation first and then reinforcing my darks, I won't ever encounter that problem. Now regarding the highlight, if you are working on a nose that has a particularly bright highlight either on the top surface or where the nostrils curve over, it would be wise to allow the white of that paper to show through. You then know that you've got the brightest that you possibly can, and if you then need to darken it later on, you can just soften that out with some lighter graphite. Now when you're at this stage where you're adding those final details, it's always worth taking a step back from your easel and seeing whether or not there's anything else that you notice that might need to be adjusted. When I finish a portrait, I will always put it away for a day or two and then get it back out, look at it with fresh eyes, and if there's not anything that I notice, that's when I call it finished. So I really do hope that this video has been useful. If it was, I would really appreciate it if you could give it a like and a thumbs up. It makes a huge difference to my channel. I upload a couple of videos to YouTube every week, so if you would like to get notified of that content, then hit the subscribe and the bell button. And here is a photo of my finished portrait. Now, as I've mentioned, I did create this so I could show how to draw white fur in graphite, and that is available on my Patreon. But my Patreon channel does focus heavily on the pet portrait side of things, so I'm building up a wide range of dog, cats and horse portraits so that I can have as much variety there as I can. So any Patreon members who may want to take on commissions of their own have a wide variety of domestic pets that they can then use the tips and techniques I share into their own portraits. Now, of course, I've also got a wide variety of wildlife subjects. What I tend to do is 1 month I'll upload a tutorial of a domestic pet, and the next month it will be a wildlife subject, so that there is always a really broad range of animals to choose from. If you've got any art related questions, feel free to pop them in the comments below. I am more than happy to help if I can. And as always, thank you so much for watching.